Hello everyone. So it is another very challenging time for our investors. So 5 months ago, Dr. Drew and Master Zero have a discussion on the global financial markets, and they decided afterwards to liquidate 95% of their stock holdings. Supposed to be a normal day, it became so prophetic. Then they started to put the rationale, philosophy, principles, process into our investment and financial literacy training video program. So our course participant could see the proof later and why they are doing so. Let's start. So with the dawn of this happening, new factors come into the pictures. It is totally unexpected for many investors. So what should we do now? Let's see what's happened to those names in the China new economy. We take Alibaba. The stock have been dropped from the recent height 72%. Facebook, recently changed name to Meta, also have cut half their stock price since 2021 August to March 11, 2022. So we see all these selling are mainly coming from the foreign funds like US and US allied fund sources. But we also see a lot of new economy names in US are also affected, and mainly due to the inflationary worries and the coming monetary tightening. So what are the key factors that is coming into our picture and become strong disturbance factors? The recent war, Russia engaged with Ukraine, and indirectly involved EU, US, UK and their allies. The pandemic, already 6 million people passed away, and this pandemic has changed totally the travel patterns and the business model for a lot of related business forever. We see financial and commercial conflicts, especially between China and US, is still intensifying, and it extends to all kinds of areas. It seems it will not stop in the coming few years. Commodity price, new digital asset also come into the pictures. So these are diverting people's fund resources to the alternatives from the conventional asset classes. So look at the few key index for global and Asia regional investor. So when we look at the chart of Hang Seng Index and Nasdaq, which are more closely related to the new economy, we see that the selling action should started earlier this year. And why? The morphing investors can start their selling earlier because the discipline review was done after a 15% fall, no matter for the index or the stock price that they owned. As we have mentioned in the last slide, the new fundamental factors come into the pictures. And then now we see a lot of big name investment advisor ask people to avoid the stock, yet they already have declined over 70%. Nevertheless, when we look at the technical chart for the recent directions, we see further 20 and 30% downside from this index chart in our bear case scenario. So it is time for you to urgently reassess your risk tolerance limit and set your price target for your stocks that you own in the three scenario: bullish, bearish, and neutral. And you should ask yourself, do you well equipped with the right skill and right approach for this challenge? Let's look back the 4 key lessons for those investors that have missed the opportunity to do the right thing. They are not alerting to the drastic change in the country macro situations and underestimate the impact to the stock price because of ideological change that is driving a country's economic reform. And they have no patience to examine and review their own portfolio situations and just listen to various input without deep thinking and calculation. And they have ignored the importance of review the risk tolerance limit and exercise appropriate profit taking and stop loss actions. Three easy things for us to say. If we have no conviction building on any stock or about the situation of the financial market, you should not invest. You should have a scientific and disciplined approach to assess the investment and convictions. Otherwise, it will be easier for you to commit the same mistake again and again. True investment philosophy and discipline can well equip yourself for all these coming challenges. No patience, no conviction. If you have no patience to study and learn the investment essence, you will not have a clue what's going to happen in complex situations. If you don't have the guts to go through the pains, you do not know what is going to affect your portfolio value, and it's difficult for you to make up a plan for sustainable asset growth. And with all these determinations, after all your hard work, it is time for you to express your conviction through investment actions. So the key takeaways that we see from the recent developments in the financial markets globally and regionally, we stick to our drill approach. Fundamental picture changed drastically. We should reassess our risk tolerance limit and set new price targets, and ensure we are well equipped skill-wise to take on this challenge with a scientific and proven approach. Please check on our other video training programs in our YouTube website. Thank you for your watching. See you next time.